Hey, how y'all doing today? So, this is my YouTube channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. If you're old here, why haven't you subscribe? Why are you just clicking them links and why you're not liking? It's a little rude. It's a little rude. But let's get into talk about what we all are here for. The trade. Down low men. Don't you just love them? This video was inspired by the idea that we need to protect down low men or DL men.
I'm ready.
Nobody's gonna like this comment, but I'm gonna say it. We all play a part in the down low man. All of us. Let's do it. I'm gonna tell you how. You want me to break it down for you?
Start with my community. What do we do?
The gay community?
Yeah, we live for the trade and we protect their secrets.
All right. We this is how we do it. One, the women won't allow space for them to open and have that conversation. Two, the guys won't tell the truth because the women won't allow them to have the space in those spaces.
And the community shames them.
And the community shames them.
Now, before I go any further, I just want to mention and say that I love T.S. Madison. I love Jason Lee, and I love the spaces that they provide and the commentary that they do have. But this one particular quote, "The community shames them," is very problematic to me. Because in a lot of our stories, down low men are the antagonist. And to be like we shame them, it's a little unfair. Because a lot of times I feel like the girls, we tend to be the victims. You know what I mean? They're the victim of society and all this and that. But I feel like a lot of times the girls give them a lot of space. And then they use that space to take advantage. So, let's continue. And I want to preface by saying also that I empathize with the DL man. I have been hurt by the DL man. And I'm also going to express why we have the DL man still today. You know? So, let's get into it. So, for number one, I used to be you. Believe it or not, my career ass, my effeminate ass, my gay ass used to be one of y'all. I was never given trade. I've never given trade my entire life. A lot of y'all don't know what trade really, truly is, if you want to get into that. But I used to be you. I used to, and a lot of us, especially as gay and queer men, we masked as straight men. We tried our best to be straight men. We tried to deny our sexual feelings, what we knew deep down inside. We tried to deny that and tried to be what we thought was right, what we were told was right, what we knew would not come with stigma, what we knew we would be praised for, which was being straight. And for a long time, that's what I was. If you ask me, I'm straight. The fuck? Unless, yeah. I'm straight. Being gay was the worst thing to be in a lot of spaces. At home, it was not. No. And I hated the fact that I felt like I was, and thought that I was, before I came to now. When I went to college, this is when I guess I told myself that I was going to be more accepting of myself. I was going to experiment sexually because I was a virgin by this point. And nobody was going to stop me. Yeah, I was going to be secretive about it, but I didn't know nothing about grind. I didn't know about the DL culture or none of that. I just knew that some people were gay, or if dudes did like doing stuff with dudes, it was just like not a thing that we talked about. It was a thing that we tried to hide. I knew that's just what it was, because we knew that being gay was not the best thing to be. Once I finally realized that I like me some men, especially sexually, I had not came around emotionally yet because I could not see that for myself. I did not see that in the world and I did not have the experience to be able to want something romantic a lot of times with these men. It was just purely sexual a lot of times. I could not fathom the idea of being in a relationship with a man because I had not seen it really. So I came out as bi, not with my parents, not with my siblings. Of course, I don't know if I told y'all the story, but my brother, my oldest brother that is also gay, he ended up kind of finding me on Grindr, and that's how he found out I was gay, but I really told him I was bi because, you know, I did still feel that emotional connection to women. I did want to have romantic relationships with women, or at least I thought I did. I really felt like I did, but I wasn't gonna pursue that per se. I wasn't gonna heavily pursue that. Just if it happened, and I would be happy for that. But when it came to the sexual stuff, I don't know. I had not gotten to that point ever, so I didn't know how that was. I just knew that, you know, I was bi. And that's what I started telling people. I started telling people I was bi. If it came down to that, if it came down to the question of Chris is gay. No, Chris is not gay. Chris is bi. But what I realized, what quickly ran into my mind, what quickly hit me across the face like a big ass Mack truck, was the fact that women don't like bi men. A lot of women do not like bi men. A lot of women see bi men as gay, especially black women. If you are bi, you are gay. So you have no chances regardless. I quickly realized that a bi man is a lot more acceptable if he is extremely attractive. If he can truly, without a doubt, attract both sexes, then that's cool to be bi. And we see that often, where I've noticed, especially the men that are a lot more comfortable with their bisexualness are a lot more attractive, because by that point women don't give a fuck if he doing stuff with men. They just know that that's this fine ass man, that they want him too. So everybody wants this man. And I realized that in my observations and in my thought processes, I knew that with me being the attractive level that I felt like I was, or that I was, that being bi wasn't going to really work if I truly wanted to end up with a woman. I knew that would, or at least I knew that it would be a lot more hectic, if you know what I mean. A lot more hectic. I was really good. My introduction to DL culture. My first introduction to DL culture was porn. Now, let's not even hold it. I try not to have as much of a filter on this channel, especially when it comes to educating and telling my true stories. So my first introduction to somewhat of a DL culture was porn, where we got the DL homies and the dudes that, like, they were thugs in the streets, but then they would come in this hotel room. I mean, this was all staged, but I ain't completely know that. I didn't conceptualize that completely, but this was, you know, they're all straight acting, they're buddies until they get into this hotel room. Now all of a sudden they taking each other's clothes off, they kissing, they fucking. That was my first introduction to DL culture, because for a long time, let's admit this, I didn't even know what gay was. I didn't understand gay for a while. I was called that. I didn't understand it. I didn't, and that's one of the saddest things that I, talk about often when it comes to this, is how a lot of young boys are called this thing, not even truly knowing what it is, or if they even given the space to truly, figure out themselves to know if they are this thing. But their first introduction to it is a negative introduction, where it's just like, oh, it's not good to be fruity. It's not good to be, whatever. I equated fruitiness and all this stuff to being more effeminate, not so much a guy liking a guy, wanting to be with a guy, having a relationship with a guy, because I could not conceptualize that. I did not see it. That was my first introduction to DL culture, was porn. My second introduction was real life, and it was Grindr. When you open up Grindr for the first time, you see a lot of blank profiles. For a while, I didn't know that everybody could put a picture on their profile. Or I guess after, being on there for a little while, figuring out the app, you can put pictures, but a lot of people don't put pictures. And I figured it was mostly because, maybe these people just don't want to be exposed or whatever. They don't want their face to just be out there discoverable for anybody to see, knowing that they want to have these sexual relations. Not so much the fact that they're gay, but just the fact that they don't want their face to be seen on a hookup app, basically. But then I quickly realized that a lot of dudes, they live in this fear. They don't want to be exposed. They feel like they can be exposed. They present to the world that they're straight still, and they even let this bleed down and sink down into their attractions. Everything is secretive. Everything is very discreet. Everything is blah, 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 blah. And that was dangerous, especially for me as a 18-year-old, naive in a lot of aspects, still wise, but naive, where it's just like I'm hooking up with these guys, sometimes not even knowing what their face look like, and I'm going to wherever they are to go have sexual intercourse with them, and I don't even know how that face look. I don't even know what they body look like. I don't know how tall they are. I don't know how short they are. They could run up on me in this location, literally kill me, and I wouldn't even know that it was them coming towards me. That's when we really think about it in that aspect, that's really wild. But it's just like, I felt like that was the only option. You know, I didn't feel like I was gonna ever openly just meet somebody that was gay out in the public. They expressed their attraction towards me in public, and I be accepting of that, and I be cool with that, and I, you know, whatever. So quickly realized on Grindr that there's a lot of, I realized what femphobia was. I mean, I knew that it wasn't good to be more feminine presenting as a guy, especially as a black man, but I truly realized that on Grindr. I realized that some people prefer this ultra feminine black man, and some people prefer this masculine black man, and I found myself in the middle. I found myself not being truly, you know, feminine like they want me to be. I don't wear panties. I don't do this, that, the other. I don't do all of that. Not at this time. I still don't wear panties, but I'm just saying, I didn't fit that box, and I didn't fit this hyper masculine box either. And so I would find myself in the middle a lot of times, and I would find myself not being, not wanting to hook up with me because of that fact, and also the fact that I was a little bit more overweight, and this, that, the other. It was a lot. Being fat and femme is not the best journey a lot of times. No. But with that, with porn and all that, and even my real life experiences, and even before and now, I just realized that masculinity, a lot of people perform this masculine act. They perform this straight act where it's just like, you walking like this, you talking like this, you doing this, not doing that, you breaking your banana, you're doing all this different shit. You're performing masculinity, you're performing straightness for the world to accept you, for the world to love you for just being, for just to love you, to accept you. You have to perform this masculinity because that's what you're supposed to be, and the more masculine you are, the better. I didn't fit in that box, and especially when I reached college and I started to accept myself more, I resented that performance. I resented other people that performed, and like, it fucked with me, because I feel like a lot of men, I know y'all see it too, where it's just like, you know, your homeboy voice ain't that deep. You know your homeboy don't be acting this nonchalant, but it's just like, we cool with it, or, you know, we put on these masks just to be, to even be amongst friends, these guy friends, the straight men. I'm talking to you. Y'all put on these masks just to be comfortable around your straight male friends, just to be fully accepted. You can't even talk about certain things because it's just like, you have to keep up this performance and this facade in a platonic relationship where y'all are growing closer to each other, and it's very weird, you know. Number 3. This is probably one of the most important things, and why this topic kind of came up, is putting DL men in danger, which is a very definitive fact, something that can happen. Let me say this: I do not appreciate people that try to expose DL men, people that haven't came out the closet, this, that, the other, because that's just, you're inciting violence on them a lot of times. You know that they're surrounded by these people that, one, don't even like homosexuality, don't deem it an abomination, deem it this, that, the other. you know that it can possibly ruin their life, ruin their career, ruin their livelihood, and you take it upon yourself to expose them and to do that to them. I don't think that's cool. I'm not saying that some of these dudes don't truly deserve it, and we're going to talk about aspects where I do feel like it's okay to expose these men, but we need to stop putting DL men in danger in a point of just like using it to try to blackmail them or using it against them, because that's not cool. And a lot of y'all were DL at one point, and I'm sure you can only imagine how it would feel if you didn't have the opportunity to come out to your family and your friends and someone push you out the closet. That's not cool. Now let's talk about DL men being a threat. I realized that DL men, when they're around me, with me, or well, in the past when we were hooking up, this or the other, everything's so secretive. We have to meet up at night, this, that, the other, blah, blah, blah. And I also knew, had heard stories by this point that some men get killed by these men, get beat up by these men because these men aren't comfortable with their same-sex attractions, or because the imposing threat of somewhat being possibly exposed, not because of the person's fault that they beat up, but because, you know, something else, or just like the disgust they have with themselves because of their same-sex attraction can impose danger on another gay individual or the person that they're hooking up with, being intimate with. Let's just say that, being intimate with. And I realized that early on, that, you know, some of these men are a little loco. It's truly crazy, and it's just like, I can't chop it up to anything but the fact that the world made them like this. If the world was accepting of all of us, this, that, the other, and we could be what we want to be, we wouldn't have this shift where it's so much shame and disgust and guilt comes over someone when they're intimate with another man or the same sex, and that now they feel such guilt that they want to harm the person that they were just intimate with. That is such a mindfuck to me. DL men, I'm not your savior, and I'm not your bank. Because let's talk about it. Let's really get into it. The trade really like to take advantage of people. Some of this trade, they be having some good dick, and they think that, you know, their dick or that their height or that their masculinity allots them some type of currency in this world, and it doesn't. Especially with me, it doesn't. Some of y'all glorify these men for these things, but at this point in age, at this season in my life, I'm not. You're not no more special than me, and I'm damn sure not about to put you above me. I have been in situations where these DL men have me driving them everywhere, have me helping them with this favor, helping them with that favor, just for them, when they're done with me, they're done using me, to flip on me. When they're done using me, or once they've obtained something from me or obtained items from me, then I'm no longer whatever. And they know that they can go find another dude that's gonna fuck with them, or that they can take advantage of. And in times like that, that's when the DL man disgusts me. The DL man disgusts me when they have the audacity and gall to look at me and try to put me under them because I'm more effeminate. You can't even walk out in public comfortably in your sexuality or in your being, but you want to talk shit about me and you want to make me feel lesser than. DL men pose a threat when they are so scared and fearful of being exposed. They're also scared and being fearful of being deemed gay and the stigma that comes with that. So there's always a possibility that you could run into that crazy DL guy. You could, you know, have these situations, near life and death situations, because this man is not accepting of himself and he cannot control himself. He has no constraint over his emotions, and he lets that physically come out, and he lets that part, you know, weigh down on you. And when the DL men can be tricksters, DL men can be thieves, DL men can be all of these things, and just the whole culture of it, with the hookup culture and all that, it's dangerous. It's really dangerous. These men don't give a fuck who they giving what, if they don't give a fuck if They know they got some of them don't care because they're not happy with themselves sometimes, and they don't give a fuck about you. DL men can be very problematic. DL men are just very problematic, and to me they're very annoying, especially when it got to a point where I didn't care about showing people my face and this at the other. I mean, I've always shown the face picture if they wanted the face picture, this at the other, but it's just like, why are you upset that someone doesn't want to be with you or doesn't want to be in a relationship with you? Even on a relationship, I can't see your face. You think I'm supposed to feel safe with, becoming cool with you, talking on the phone with you, doing all this different shit? You're getting all the privileges of being out, you're getting all the privileges, you're getting all the privileges of not being out, and you still want the privileges of having access to me. And I don't like that. I feel like if you DL, and I hate the idea that we're making people be celibate. I hate the idea of someone being celibate against their will or feeling like they have to be celibate, this, that, the other. But it's just like, I know you don't deserve me. If you DL, if you can't walk down the street holding my hand and it's that, you don't deserve to be with me, because I deserve someone that fully loves me. I think that's the least that I deserve. I think I deserve someone that isn't scared to hold my hand in public. I think I deserve someone who isn't so caught up in themselves and so caught up within whatever they got going on where they can't even kiss me. We can't even kiss. Now let's talk about the role that women play in this. Women, that man is bi. I don't give a fuck if he take dick up his ass. I don't give a fuck if he suck dick. I don't care if he wasn't the one doing the bending. Y'all impose a big problem when it comes to all of this, because a lot of these men are DL because they want to still pursue romantic relationships with women. They feel like they can't have it both ways, so they feel like they have to perform. They have to do stuff that they don't want to do just to not be the out group, because we do have an out group and y'all help feed that out group. I challenge y'all to, if a man is bi, not let all that stigma that you have inside, not let all those untruths, those things that aren't true, that you feel are true about certain particular guys, I ask you to release them. Because at the end of the day, if that man is being open and honest with you and is gay, truly gay and not bisexual, he's gonna be sleeping around with other people, and he's not gonna make your life good. He's gonna hurt you at the end of the day. And I don't know why a lot of women don't realize that them being that way can cause them harm at the end of the day. And let's not get me wrong, all this ain't on women either. This is on men too. This is on men continuously perpetuating this homophobia, continuously trying to this gay, that gay, this zesty, that sassy, continuously. It's just like, give it up. Just be accepting of people. Just, if they ain't bothering you, what's the issue? Even if they are bothering you, why are you trying to use this one aspect against them? And I think a lot of times when it comes to women, the stigma of HIV, the stigma of AIDS, and the non-education that a lot of people have on it plays a big role in why they don't want to be with bisexual men, because they feel like they're going to get something. They feel like a man sleep with a man should only sleep with a man. I heard, not even talking about women, but I heard a man very recently, in the past like 3 weeks, say that if a man sleep with men, he don't need to ever sleep with a woman again. He doesn't need to poison the pussy. Poison the pussy. I feel like if we're all being safe and everyone is, keeping themselves, safe when it comes to STDs and all that, and making an effort to, I don't see a problem with it. But poison the pussy, it makes it further, just the homophobia of it all, just the I talked about this in my How Girls Have It Easier, but just like, wow, y'all really hate us. Like, that's crazy. Y'all really hate us. And at the end of the day, with all the things the DL men have done to me and all the problematic things that they have done and do, and still perpetuate and help straight people perpetuate and all this and that. It's just like, I don't even blame them for being DL because of how vicious and how cruel y'all treat queer and gay people. Like, I do not blame them for being in the closet. And I wish that it would stop being such a big shocker that a man is treating on a woman with a man. Is not that big of a fucking deal. If he was cheating on you with a woman, that's one thing. But if he cheating on with you with a man, then it's just like you sliding down the walls. You ready to kill yourself. Get over it. Get over it. That man was bisexual. If he was still had sexual attraction to you and other men, get over it. He cheated on you. That I do not condone cheating at all. But it's just like the fact that he cheated with you with a man, that shouldn't be a big story topic. I'm tired of that going viral. I'm tired of all that. Because at the end of the day, we know that the overlying cloud of homophobia is the reason why all of these things are happening. Now, I also want to touch on don't nobody want them. And because that's also a growing argument that don't nobody want the DL men. Why would I want them? Why would I want a man that don't truly want me? Or that wants me but only in private? Why would I want to live my life like that? I get it to an extent, but it's just like at the end of the day, if you truly want to be happy, if you truly want to have this successful relationship, or that you truly want to, have somebody, have a man, have all these things, you're going to have to be accepting of yourself. You're going to have to be comfortable with your gayness, with your queerness. You're going to have to, because in a sense, that's us as gay men, openly out gay men. That's us taking our power back, where it's just like, I don't have to convene with you. You're not my only option. You as a DL man, you're not my only option. I can go date me another openly out man. I know how he looks. He's loving of me for all of me. He's not wanting me to hide any of myself. Because let's not get this screwed. A lot of gay men are still very internally homophobic and very femophobic. I know that I don't want to be with you because I know that we don't have the same interests in life. I know, or maybe if we do have the same interests in life, I know that this isn't going to work because I know who I am. I know who I am, and I'm accepting of who I am, and I love who I am. So my self-esteem is too high to go backwards. You come forwards. I will gladly show you the ropes. I would gladly welcome you into this world of being out of the closet. And I'm not rushing you or anything like that, but it's just like, you can't have both ways. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. And that's something a lot of us had to realize. A lot of us that came out of the closet, we knew that we couldn't have our cake and eat it too. We knew that if we wanted to have the things that we wanted in life, that we was going to have to come out. And let's talk about coming out for a second. You don't even have to fucking come out. Just do what the fuck you want to do. If somebody got some shit to say about it, and you know that they don't like gay people, this is the other, they're not for you because you are gay. You're not going to hell for being gay. Let's trump your reasons for why you want to continue to be down low. You're not going to hell for being gay. Those people that don't want to love you anymore or don't want to be around you anymore because now you're gay and now you're somewhat of a threat to them or this, that, the other, they're not the people for you. They don't truly love you if they can accept that small part of you. Now, it can be a big part because sexuality, we are very sexual beings, but it's just like, you're not sexual with them. That's your family, that's your friends. Why all of a sudden it's a problem? I've been this same person this entire time, but now because you know that I'm gay, now you don't want to fuck with me no more, you don't want to love me no more. That's fake as fuck. That's not a real friend. That's not a true. And don't get me wrong, give some people grace because some people, we know how homophobia is and we know how people are so deep in that. Sometimes give people grace if they truly are trying to come around and truly are trying to, do whatever. But also know that you don't have to forgive them either. I know people, you forgive them for yourself, but you don't have to forgive them and take them back when they've said some horrible things or did some horrible things to you. Now they want to come back around because at that point they harmed you and they wanted to do harm towards you because of something, and you don't have to forgive them for that. The solution is to stop being homophobic. The solution is to stop femphobia. The solution is to even as straight people, not only to be allies, but as I've been hearing a lot, and I've been jumping on this train, be my accomplice in this. Don't just be like, oh, okay, them doing what they want to do, that's cool. Do what you want to do. Be like, oh, okay, you just like me, that's cool. Be like, oh, okay, this person being homophobic to you, that's not cool. I'm not finna accept it. I'm not finna have this homophobic boyfriend. I'm finna stop giving these homophobic men a pussy. That's how you be my accomplice. I'm finna tell my homeboy that you talking about this dude calling him a sissy, that all this and that ain't cool. We don't do that. That's how we shift this. That's how we start to change these things. But as long as we have this homophobia hovering over these men, as long as we have all this stigma hovering over these men and this uneducation and all this and that, people are going to continue to not be safe when it comes to sex because they're going to be uneducated about it. Let's be very real about this. Men are still going to be down low. They're still going to try to be a facade and be in a relationship with these women and ultimately hurt them because they're gay at the end of the day. Men are still going to hurt other gay men because they don't want to truly accept themselves. They're not going to ever be able to fully be a loving partner, a loving person for these men that truly deserve it, because we've been made to feel like we don't deserve it. We do deserve it. And they're never going to get that love because this man is going to be down low and he don't feel comfortable within that. He don't feel comfortable within his gayness and queerness. Ultimately, what I'm trying to say is I understand why we have the down low man. And I also want to pose another question. I bought up my paper a little too fast. I want to pose a question. Do y'all love the trade or do y'all love masculinity? It's cool to love masculinity, but it's just like, why are we glorifying this to this point? I hate to say it, but a lot of y'all got daddy issues. Y'all want this man to be y'all daddy. Y'all want this older man that's more masculine. Y'all want him to be, subconsciously, you want him to be your father. Go to therapy. Now, there is nothing wrong, and I love me some masculine men too, but like, come on now. Let's see how this trauma is making you have certain actions, making you have certain thought processes. Let's really delve deep into that. Do you like the trade? Do you like the down low man that does these things to you or causes this toxicity towards you a lot of times? Or do you just want a masculine man? And then let's look at why you're so home set on having this so ultra masculine man, because a lot of times that masculinity that y'all are presenting as is a facade. Y'all not truly masculine, like talking about. Y'all not naturally masculine. Y'all just are doing the societal ticks, the societal things that y'all have to do to be deemed masculine, and then therefore attractive for that masculinity. Y'all not truly, masculine, like talking about. Just be yourself. And sooner we stop glorifying masculinity in that aspect, that fake masculinity, the sooner we can grow as a community, as the LGBTQ plus, the LGBTQIA plus community. The sooner we can grow. And that's not me saying, oh, you have to date a more feminine man, but it's just like, look at why you have so much hate towards them. Look at why you turn your lip up at them when they're in the same community as you. Y'all not really masculine. That's all I'm trying to say. Y'all not really masculine. And that's okay. That's totally fine, but let's stop faking like we are. Let's stop trying to fulfill these fantasies. Because a lot of these fantasies ain't real life. Some of these fantasies do play out in real life, but not all the time. They don't always play out like that. And you're holding yourself out from a lot of experiences, a lot of love, by being so you and being so hateful. But that's all for this video. Hopefully this was productive. Hopefully this does something. Not in terms of numbers, but hopefully it makes someone think that's watching this. If you got to the end of this video, post a rainbow or post some butterflies. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see y'all a little bit later. Hopefully I ain't trigger y'all too bad. But I'll see y'all later.